Hold that thought, Saloni. Let's get in Mr. Rajnish Kumar of State Bank of India to give us some perspective. He's recently been elevated to the position of Managing Director at State Bank of India. This is his first television interaction. Mr. Kumar, thank you so much indeed for joining us today on Bloomberg. What is your reading of credit growth at this point in time? Are you seeing uptick, or is this...
thank you so much.
Is this at the same level as the last 2 quarters?
No, actually, typically first quarter always is slow. The credit growth, it picks up only in the second half. So story this year is also going to be no different. And the credit growth should pick up from the second quarter onwards, which is always termed as busy quarter in or busy half year in India for as far as credit growth is concerned for the banks. Retail, it grows steadily, and last year also, if we analyze the credit growth of the banks, the growth has come from the retail sector. The strain has been on the corporate sector, and for the obvious reasons, because of the level of NPAs, and the investment has not picked up. So that is stifling the credit growth, and it is a vicious cycle that whether you first give the credit and the investment cycle picks up, or whether there are investment plans and then you give the credit. But I can tell you that if there are any good proposals, good investment proposals, banks are ready to invest. The quality of the proposal, of course, the due diligence standards are now much more tighter, and to pass muster through the banking system, we have to be convinced as banker that the project is viable.
Sure.
It will have enough cash flow to service the debt, but there is no other issue as far as credit is concerned. When
we talk to most banks, Mr. Kumar, we get the feeling that you get the data suggests that retail is doing fairly okay. What's your reading on corporate credit? Has there been any signs of recovery? Are corporations borrowing afresh for new projects or servicing old debt? Can you give us some color on that?
No, for new projects, I think it is still some time away, because as I said, that the risk reward matrix for any investment, it needs improvement. Right now the interest rates are high, and the risk reward matrix is not in favor of the investor. If you can get a 8% return by investing in government securities, then for anybody to get the rewards, at least return on equity should be 15%. The way I see it right now, because of the recession in the economy in last 4 or 5 years, there has been erosion in the equity available with the private sector. That is one. And another is that the risk reward matrix has worked against them. So a number of things need to happen, because one is, of course, the infrastructure push which the government is giving. So even for that to happen, there will be some time lag. And that's why I say that from second half onwards, if there are any investment plans, for them even to take shape, and before the demand for the money from the banking system comes, this time lag will be there. But I believe that the focus on railway infrastructure, road infrastructure, and these 2 sectors should drive the growth.
Mr. Kumar, this is Saloni from the Mumbai newsroom. Sir, in your earlier profile, you were with SBI Caps, and you were very closely interacting with a lot of these corporates, to design corrective action plan. Now with SBI, sir, what exactly are these clients telling you? Because your peers, indicate that steel dumping, coal linkages still continues to be a big issue for the infra, steel sector. When do you see these sectors really coming on track? Because we still see issues as far as getting these stalled projects back on track is concerned.
Right. So if you look at different sectors, steel, what has happened that there was a margin, there was a pressure on the margin because the imports were cheaper, and the raw material prices, particularly of iron ore, there was a time lag. But now I am told with my interaction with the steel industry that the iron ore prices have also come down, and but still the pressure on margins on account of imports from China and other countries remain. But as I said, that when the demand picks up because of investment in infrastructure projects, then this sector also should see an uptick in the margins, and going forward their profitability should improve. As far as power sector is concerned, and particularly coal-based plants, so there are some issues around linkages and which are being addressed by the government. But on the supply side of the fuel, I think position has eased considerably, and the issue is about the power offtake, not on the supply side. Issue is on the demand side, and we all are aware that the discounts, their financials are not in the best of the health, and we have a situation where there is a demand for power as far as consumers is concerned. There is availability of power as far as power generation is concerned, but because of the poor financial health of most of the discoms in the country, the power offtake is not improving. So that is one area as far as power sector is concerned which needs to be addressed, and the power availability is not an issue according to me at this point.
Mr. Kumar, when you look at NPAs at this point in time, are you seeing evidence of fresh slippages, or is the situation improving on the ground?
I think NPA numbers, they should be stabilizing by now, and NPA, I would like to mention 2-3 things. One is as far as NPA control is concerned, some of the factors are internal to the banks, which would mean that improvement in the due diligence processes and granting of the fresh credit. But the macroeconomic environment and the interest rate scenario, it also has to improve before a visible dent is made as far as NPA situation is concerned. And third thing is about the enforcement action, and the Minister of Finance has already made a statement several times that strong bankruptcy laws are being thought of. So if the action is on all the 3 fronts, then going forward the NPA should come down.
Mr. Kumar, we leave it there. Many thanks indeed for joining us with your perspective. Rajnish Kumar from State Bank of India talking about the NPA situation, credit offtake in the system from State Bank of India. Up next, oil boom done. What next for growth? And